Good morning, students. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, but from your side, voice is not proper. It is breaking. Okay, from my side, is it proper? Is communication reachable? Hello? Hello, students. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, shall I start? Is the screen is visible? Okay. So, last class we have discussed about the interfaces, right? So, So in interfaces, we have seen what is an interface, what is the use of an interface, how basic programming in interface is done. That is creating an interface. Okay, and the things we have learned about the interface is what, how multiple inheritance can be created, and also what are interface variables. Okay, so that is interface variables are by default they are static in nature and they are final, so they have to be initialized, but they cannot be changed in the implemented classes. Okay, and nested interfaces we have seen. Nested interfaces can be either declared inside a class, that is, an interface can become an instance variable of a class. Okay, so that is what nesting interface through a class, and how to declare an interface within an interface we have seen. And also we have seen the lab program, or how interface can be extended. Okay, so these are the factors about the interfaces we have studied. Okay, creating simple interface, implementing multiple inheritance through interface. Okay, so then how to extend an interface. That is, we have seen that an interface can extend more than one interface. Okay, so that is how multiple inheritance will be implemented. Okay, and one class can implement many interfaces, and one interface can be implemented by many classes. Okay, and one interface can extend many interfaces, and nested interfaces is possible, and nesting of interfaces is either through a class or through an interface or in another interface. Okay, so these are the factors about the interface we have studied. Okay, and all related programs also we have discussed, like whatever the theoretical concept we have studied, the same through the program we have tested it. Okay, so that is about an interface. So today we'll see about the abstract classes and the basics of exceptional handling. Okay, so is the slide visible? Hello, hello. Is the slide visible?
No, ma'am.
Slide is not visible. Sharing ಆಗಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, why it is not visible? Okay, I'll stop it and again I'll share. Okay, now is the slide visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me run this. Okay, what does the abstraction means? Okay, tell me what you mean by abstract. Okay, abstraction is one of the main concept of object-oriented programming, right? So, what is abstraction? It is hiding, or we are keeping everything about an object in a single place. Okay, so that is what we'll call encapsulation. Also, our abstract is the one where we are hiding the information. Okay, so that means what we are not. Yeah, exposing, okay, or we are not relieving like how a particular task or a process is implemented, okay, but we are using that process, but we don't know how it has been done. It is just like a processed food, okay. We are getting a jamun mix, but we don't know how it has been prepared. But we'll see that what it will be contents and what will be the percentage of sugar and for other statutory reasons they'll put all those things. Otherwise, we don't know what is the secret of preparing it. That is what abstraction. We're using it, but we don't know like how it has been done. Okay, so abstract is the keyword, or abstract. The literal meaning of that is what we are hiding something. We are not what we are not relieving some information, but we are using that information for our purpose. Okay, so that is what abstract means. So here in Java, we can see abstract keyword associated with a class, associated with a method. Okay, so that is what is this abstract classes we have to see. Okay, so we have seen an interface. It is using abstract methods. Okay, so like abstract method is the one where we don't have any implementation or the definition for that method. Only the signature of that method is available. So when that interface is implemented in different classes, on their own requirement, they are going to implement that or define that method. Okay, so use of that is what we are achieving the runtime polymorphism. Okay, so that is what the different thing we have seen. Okay, it is also how in Java runtime polymorphism will be achieved. So either through the abstract class you can say, or through the interface we can say. Interface also will define it. It is an abstract class. Okay. So this is what about the use of this abstraction. Okay. Abstraction means what? In general, the meaning of this is what? Information hiding. Or we can say that only showing essential things to the user and hides the internal details. Okay, so this is what a process thing. So when we will go to a hotel, we will get the food. We are using it either to a parcel or we are eating there only, but we are not bothered about how that has been prepared, right? But somewhere we can get it, but not in detail. Okay, so that is what. And medicines also, like what we are getting the medicines, we will know the contents of that and all, how it is going to help our health issues and all, how it is going to resolve our health issues, whether any side effects are there. That also all everything we are using it, but the secret of preparing it we don't know. Okay, so that is what abstraction is. So in Java, the abstraction will be either through abstract class, abstract method, and interface. So interface is an abstract class which will have only the abstract methods. Okay. Why we require an interface as well in an abstract class? An abstract class can contain an abstract method and non-abstract method. Okay, whereas interface will be having only abstract methods only, and also all the instance variables which we will declare there will be a constants. Why they will be called as constants? Because their values cannot be changed in the inherited classes. Okay, so that is why there is a we have abstract class and the interface also. So we will call methods as abstract methods and non-abstract methods. The difference is what? Abstract methods are not having the definition part of the method. Definition in the sense body of the method. Whereas non-abstract methods are what? They are having their definition, or in general we can say the methods are having their own body. Okay. So this is what about the abstraction. Okay. The keyword abstraction. So next what we have, so what is abstract class? Already we have used the abstract method. If you want to define them, how you can say what is an abstract method? You can say abstract method is one. Uh, okay, 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute. Just I have some work here. Okay, so abstract method is one. What is that? It is it is not having the definition of the method. If a method is declared as abstract, it is not having the definition. Whereas non-abstract method is one. Um, a non-abstract method is one which will be having the body of the method. Okay, so that is about the abstract method. So now, what is abstract class? This is what we have: a class which is declared with the abstract keyword known as an abstract class. Okay, it can have abstract and non-abstract methods. That means what? In an abstract class I can declare some method which with no body with a keyword abstract, and definition of the method will be there, but still we are not able to use it. Okay, declaring a non-abstract method inside abstract class is also not useful. We'll see that way program. Okay, what is the use of declaring non-abstract method in an abstract class? And abstract class needs to be extended, and its method is implemented. It cannot be instantiated. Okay, you can split this into two parts. Class needs to be extended. Why? Because it can be extended by as many class as possible, and that method is implemented in different classes in a different way. That is what we'll say runtime polymorphism is achieved. Okay, so that is what the point you can see. Okay, here, and an object of an abstract class cannot be created. Okay, an instance of abstract class cannot be created. And why this abstract class will be useful to hide the implementation details and showing only functionality to the user. Okay, so that is what the use of the keyword abstract. Okay, so this is about, and for interface also we'll say the same thing. Interface is an abstract class where all the methods are abstract type, and an object of that interface cannot be created. Whereas interface is extendable, and interface can be implemented by many classes. Okay, so this is what we have, and the methods of an interface is implemented in different classes in a different way. This is how runtime polymorphism is achieved in Java. Okay, so abstract class is also same thing. Whereas the difference is what? It can have non-abstract method also. Okay, and we'll see when we'll declare some variables inside this whether they are to be initialized or not. Whereas in an interface, the variables are by default, they are static and they are constants, and their values cannot be modified in the implemented classes. Okay, this in abstract class, what this value can be, that we'll check when we are discussing the program. Okay, so this is what the use of abstract will be through the method as well as the class. Whereas interface is an alternate to is a type of abstract class. Okay, so this is about the use of abstract keyword in Java. Okay, so next, what we have to remember when we are discussing, when we are defining some class as an abstract class. Okay, so it must be declared with the abstract keyword. Okay, it can have abstract and non-abstract methods. It cannot be instantiated. It can have final methods. That is, it can have static and final methods also. Okay, and it can have constructors. So this is one more difference. Like in an interface, we cannot have the constructors, whereas in the abstract class we can have the constructors. Okay, so this is about the Java abstract class. Okay, so just keep in mind that I have told the difference between the abstract class and the interface. So it is whenever after discussing the creation of the abstract class and some points are how the abstract classes will be tested, I'll ask you the differences. Okay, so the difference between abstract class and the interface is what? Interface is created with the keyword interface, whereas abstract class is created with the keyword abstract. And abstract class can have both abstract and non-abstract methods. Whereas in interface, we can have only abstract methods, and in both objects cannot be created. Okay, so differences you see, in an abstract class we can have constructors, whereas in interface we cannot have the constructor. So these are the differences. Okay, and in an interface all the instance variables, okay, are the all the interface variables, we can say interface variables are by default, even though you specify it or not, they are public. Okay, and they are public, and they are static in nature, and they are to be initialized, and they are constants. They cannot be modified through the classes. So whereas with respect to abstract class, we will see what will be the instance variables of the abstract class are having the properties. Okay, so that we can say one more difference. Okay, so next will be the exception handling we have. Um, Before that, we'll go into the program and we'll come back to the what is that? Come back to the next topic. Okay. Okay. So here is this is an example here. Okay. So what in line number 3 we have? This just an abstract class is created. In this one, the thing what I have done here is what a one non-abstract method is defined and one abstract method is defined. Okay. So how this abstract class is to be used? This abstract class is to be extended. Okay. So like an interface, if you just declare, it is of no use. When it will be used, when it will be of use, when it is implemented. Like that, every abstract class is to be extended so that its methods can be used. Okay, so like that, since I have taken here class as vehicle, here one non-abstract function is defined. What is this function is a model I have taken, and int some variable I have passed, and I am displaying that this is non-abstract method in abstract class. Okay, just I have given some message. Next is what an abstract method is written. It is fuel type. Okay. So here no definition of this will be there. Next, what this abstract class is to be extended by another class. So I have taken car, which extends vehicle, where I try to redefine the functions. Okay. So here void model int y, and here I have just displayed that the model of this car is, our model is some here I have to display whatever I'll pass here, that value I have to display. Next, this is just member of that. It is not required. Like whenever a class is extended, it can have its own members and functions. Okay, that is possible. So no need that. Next is what this abstract method is redefined. Here, a non-abstract method is redefined, and here the abstract method is redefined. So just I'm typing car runs on petrol. Okay. So next is what you see line number 30 and 31. I try to create an abstract class object. Okay, so if I enable it, what will happen? It will show an error. Okay, so just it is showing an error. Why? Because you cannot instantiate an object of abstract class. So here the message is same, cannot instantiate the type vehicle, because vehicle is of type abstract. Okay, so that is to show that you cannot create. Okay. Next, what we have done, car C, new car, new object of car is created and call fuel type and model. Since I have passed some variable here, 2021. So, what I have redefined, right? One non-abstract method I have defined in the derived class. So now if I run, what I'm going to get? So car runs on petrol and model is 2021. So what we have understood here, the abstract class is can have this function, that is what is that, non-abstract method as well as abstract method. Okay, and it is to be extended by some other class, because we cannot instantiate an object of this. So we are not able to use the functions of an abstract class unless we will extend that class. Okay, and what is that? We cannot instantiate an object of the abstract class. And you see here, in an abstract class, the non-abstract method model is same, redefined in the what inherited class. So which function is executed for the object C, the function which is a member of car is executed. That is what method overriding. Okay, so when base class function and the subclass function name are same, then through the inherited class object, always the inherited object function will be executed. That is what we will see function overriding. Okay, if you just think I have not defined this, and I have inherited it, but I have not redefined it because it is a non-abstract method. If it is an abstract method, you have to define it. If it is a non-abstract method, why you have to define it, right? So that is what the user difference between interface and the abstract class. Now you see, I don't get any error, right? Because here I have a non-abstract method which is a member of this abstract class, and I have not defined that the redefined that function in the inherited class. Now through the inherited object, I try to call the model. Okay, so then what will happen? Okay, so this function is executed, right? This function is executed. So what you will learn here, in an abstract class you can have non-abstract method as well as the abstract method. So whenever a method is abstract, you have to implement that method, or you have to define that method in the inherited class. If it is a non-abstract method, you need not have to implement it, or you need not have to define it. Okay, if you define it and use through the object of the inherited class, then always method overriding will happen. Okay, other than that, whatever the base class function, that function only you can use in the thing, use through the inherited object. Okay, so that is what. And you see, if I not declare this one, what will happen? All abstract method is to be redefined in the inherited classes. Otherwise, you will get an error. Okay, so it is showing that the type car must be implemented. It will say, right? Must be implemented inherited abstract method vehicle fuel type. So what this error is telling, you have declared some method fuel type as abstract in the abstract class. That's why that method is needs to be defined. Okay, so what you should understand from this. So once a method is declared as abstract in an abstract class, then that method is to be defined in the inherited class. Okay, if a method is a non-abstract method in the abstract class, then in the through the objects of the inherited class you can directly use it. If you want the redefinition of it, you can redefine it, but it is not mandatory that you have to redefine it. Okay, so that is what the use. So what are the points of the abstract class you will remember from this one? So an abstract method, abstract class can declare with the abstract keyword, and it can have what is that? It can have non-abstract method and the abstract method. So it is this class is an object of this abstract class cannot be created. So that's why to utilize this functions of the abstract class, we need to extend this through another class. When we will extend this abstract class through another class, the abstract method need to be implemented, whereas non-abstract method we can directly use it. If we are redefine it, then through the object of the derived class, always method overriding will be done. That means always this will be executed. Okay, so this is what here the example we have, that is these are the concepts we have seen. Okay, so next to what we'll do, this can be implemented by another class also, right? So like this is an example of this, where class you can take e e where I can take um okay. Okay, so here I'll redefine it. Okay, so this e-scooty runs on solar energy. I can write here. Okay, so that means what? Abstract class can be extended by many other classes. Okay, any number of classes can extend abstract class. Okay, so there is no restriction on how many classes it can be extended. Okay, so that is what. Now you just see here. What I will do is, uh, I'll create like this. This is also possible. Vehicle V equals new e-scooty. Okay, so now it is not showing any error. That means what? Through the base class, I am creating an object of the derived class. Okay, so this here you see whatever the class name here and whatever the class name here are different. So this is what some programming flexibility you have this. That's all I'm showing this. Okay, so now you call v dot fuel type. It is also possible. And why I have created that like this is through what? See, when it is available from here, you can do this. Okay, this is programming flexibility. That's all. Okay, so now we just run this. What we have? So leave this car runs again. E-scooty runs on solar energy. This is non-abstract method in abstract class. So that is what we have here. This one. Okay, so we can still better. We can properly. So just have this definition, and here you can redefine it and give your own message. And through the derived class object, always it will override this one. Okay, so that's all it is. Okay, so here you can see here this is what the programming here. Usually what we have, the class name what we have on left hand side, when we are instantiating it, we should have the same name. But it is just like base class pointer. We are storing the derived in a base class pointer. We are storing the derived class object. Okay. Okay, so here you see one more thing I'll show you. Okay, so just you understand this only programming flexibility I'm showing. So you may be knowing you have a base class pointer in C++. You have a base class pointer, and what type of object you will show store in that type of the method related to that object it is going to execute. Right? This is what runtime polymorphism. Okay, don't be confusing. But I'm enjoying the flexibility of Java. But let it be. Okay, so just understand this abstract class. You can have a non-abstract method and abstract method, and you can. It is not mandatory that the body of the non-abstract method is to be redefined, whereas the body of the abstract method is to be implemented. So whenever you have non-abstract methods which are same in both the base class and derived class, always derived class method will be executed through the derived class object. Okay, so this is what you have to remember. That is what inheritance property. When you have base class function is having same name is present in both base class and derived class, always derived class function will be executed through the derived class object. That is what we will call method overriding. Okay, so to avoid that we are using the super keyword, right? So anyhow you have seen that. So method overriding will be possible. Okay, and this is what you have. It is not an instance of vehicle, but it is an instance of the derived class. But this type of definition is possible. Okay, so that is what you should understand. Okay, so now one more is what how we have to declare constructors in abstract classes. Okay, here only I can create. But it may be a confusion. Just I have taken another example. Here, this example, what I have taken here, class bank, in that a constructor is declared. It is abstract class. So bank here we have bank name. Okay, just I given here bank name is, and here abstract rate of interest. That is different banks will be having different rate of interest for your deposits. That is why an abstract method rate of interest is taken. So whenever a different bank is created, their rate of interest will be different. That is why this method varies, depends on the derived classes, right? So next another class, SBI extends this bank, where here I have written constructor. Okay. So how this an object of SBI created? First, a constructor of bank is executed. Then the constructor of SBI is executed. Okay. This is how in a inheritance constructors are executed. Okay. And that variables are initialized using the super keyword, right? That is what in an inheritance we have studied. So here again, SBI created. Yes, in a SBI constructor, I have written the name of the bank as SBI. So whenever I'll create an SBI object, what is the message I should get? Bank name is SBI, because first the constructor of the bank is executed, then the constructor of SBI is executed, right? And since this return type is int and the rate of interest method is returning the interest. Okay. So I'm just in SBI rate of interest is 8%. Okay. So like that I'm going to display. Next is what another bank is taken, Canara. Again it is extended the abstract class bank one. And in this constructor just I given the name and the rate of interest value is different. So now you see in the main method, I have created an object of bank. That is the previous declaration I have used. Bank B, new SBI. And we have a print message and called the rate of interest function. And another bank is created and here we have called it. And what is in 51? An array of bank is created. So different objects will be there and different elements. Each element of an array is having different objects. Okay, if I declare bank as 10, so 10 bank classes I can have SBI, Canara, Punjab. Okay, so like Karnataka Bank and whatever the banks. Okay, what is that? Kotak Mahindra, like that. Everything I can create, and in a bank array, each element is from different bank. Each object is from different bank, and whenever I'll call the rate of interest, it will show the respective interest paid in each bank. Okay, so that is what this array is useful. Okay, through the base in a base class array, I am creating, I am storing the derived class objects. Okay, so whenever this one ROI function is called, respective object functions are called. Okay, so that is how runtime polymorphism is implemented. Okay, so now in B1 of 0, just I have stored and created. So a message will be got. Okay, and B of 1, a new Canara. Okay, so you will get the, so bank name is Canara and rate of interest is Canara is 6. Okay, so this is for first line number 45 and 46, 48 and 49 output are this. Bank name is SBI and rate of interest of S in SBI is 8. 8% you can display properly, and Canara and rate of interest in Canara is 6%. And just here, just I have called the constructors, right? So bank name is SBI, bank name is Canara. So you just after this, so you can give some system out println, then you will get a proper message. Okay. Mm. Okay, somewhere you have to adjust that, then you will get a proper, like in a single line it will come. Okay. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಆಯ್ತು, ಪ್ರಿಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ತೆಗೆದು you can give print here, and in between this, after this you can give one system out println. So that is what adjustment of this. Then you will get proper lining. Okay. So here you can call B1 of 0 dot ROI. Okay, here function name is available. You can have a for loop and you can call ROI, so that you will get that what. So instead of this, I have stored different objects, right? You can have a for loop and call the one to call the respective function. In print ln, right? Hmm. Okay, so here in a for loop you can call this. This is something you can do with this. Current I equals 0 and I is less than 2, I plus plus. You can what? You can have B1 of I dot Ry is our. So you have a bank array. So there different banks are stored. So whenever a respective bank is called, its rate of interest is displayed. This is how using this beautifully runtime polymorphism is implemented. Okay, the same output will get, but in what way we have written will be different. That's all. Okay, so same thing. Okay, so here bank name is Canara, SBI, bank name is Canara. So first constructor is displayed, right? Okay, what we are getting? Here we are getting, but this output for I is 0 as a BFI ROI. Okay, so anyhow, that output we should get. Don't be confused. We'll comment this and we'll see what output we are getting. Okay, only constructor ROI is not displaying. Why? Okay, we have to check that, but still we'll see. Here you just give and check. We have to get this. Maybe some syntax error or whatever we are getting here, but this type is also possible. And along with the object, it is coming. May for loop we are not getting. Okay, so comment this. Okay, why to this object? Okay, it is not coming. I'll check it and tell you. But up to this, you understand, right? So, how to use the constructors? Constructors are called, but why not this method? Okay, abstract method is not executing to the object. Okay, B1 of 0 is new is constructor is created, so it should work. Okay, I'll check this one. Okay, we are not getting the ROI, but the constructor is executed. Okay, so anyhow, this thing is possible, right? Through the this in an array we can store it. But how to call the abstract method? The syntax we have to check. Okay, no problem. Like whatever the things we have seen declared within an abstract keyword, abstract and non-abstract, both it can have both abstract method and non-abstract method. It cannot be instantiated, and constructor can be declared. And you can have final static methods also in a as a members of the abstract class. Okay, so that is what the points you have to remember. Okay, so now we will check one more thing here. So like I'll declare here int I is equal to 100. Okay, and here just try to change this one I plus plus. Okay, this is what one more we have like to print this value. Just I'll print I. Okay, we are not getting any error. So this is how one of the what changes here. And now, why I have taken that is to show you that how interface variables are different from this. Okay. So here, whatever the value we are getting here as 101 is I value. That means what? Here, the values, whatever inside a class, you will declare the values are what? And are not constants. Okay. So it is not that they are to be initialized. Just I have initialized it, but you can pass the values here also, and also they can be changed. So when they are not constant, they can be changed. And in an interface, they are public by default. But let me have this whether I can declare it as private. Yeah, here I cannot. Okay, the field bank one I is not visible. Okay, I can declare it, but I cannot extend it. So it should be public. Okay. Okay, so don't worry about the access specifier. Access specifier, you can say it should be public by default, whereas the values are not constants, so that values can be changed. Okay, so what is the difference between abstract class and interface? You can say that interface is created with the interface keyword, whereas abstract class is created with the abstract keyword. Okay, and in an abstract class, the methods can be non-abstract methods and the abstract methods also, whereas in interface all methods are abstract. And in interface, the interface variables are what? They are constants. By default, they are public and static. Their values cannot be changed in the inherited classes. Whereas in an abstract class, the instance variables are can are public also, are also public, but their value can be changed in the abstract class, in the implemented classes. Okay, these are the differences. Okay, other than that, this will be same. And what is the similarities? The objects cannot be abstract class or the interface object cannot be created. Okay, and also what else we have? The abstract methods needs to be redefined in the inherited classes, and an abstract class and an interfaces needs to be implemented or extended. Okay, otherwise since their objects are not created, to use them they are to be either extended or they are to be implemented. Okay, these are the similarities and those are the differences. Okay, so this is what, and this is what one programming aspect we have, but this is not possible. Okay, maybe it is not showing an error, but this function is not executed. Let me check that. Okay, what is that? Okay, so this is about the use of the abstract class. Okay, how the constructors are used in the abstract class. So these are the things we have discussed now. Okay. Um, can anybody repeat what is the difference between interface and an abstract class? I told that I'll ask that differences. What is the difference between abstract class and interface? Because interface will call it is an abstract class where all its methods are abstract methods and it needs to be implemented. Hello? Okay, this is the one typical question. And also, what is the difference between method overloading and method overriding? Okay, so that is what the one of the thing. What is method overriding is when base class and the derived class are having the same function name, and when you will instantiate a derived class object and you call that function, so then always the derived class function is executed. That is called function overriding. Okay, so that is what function overriding. So this is the one the concept you need to be understand in inheritance. Okay, anybody? Kishan, you are visible here. Kishan, can you tell the differences? Whatever just I have mentioned now. Hello, hello. You are not answering means you are not there. Just switched on the mobile or the laptop or whatever it is. And Akash, can you tell the whatever the differences just I have uh, mentioned about abstract class and interface, and what is function overriding? That is one of the important concept. Bhumika? Okay, nobody. Kishan? Again? No. Kritika?
Ma'am, abstract
Yes,
keyword is
ma'am.
used to declare abstract
What is the
methods.
difference between abstract class and interface? And what is function overriding is? ಈಗ ಹೇಳ್ದೆ ತಾನೆ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸತಿ
Abstract keyword use ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ abstract class ಅಲ್ಲಿ.
ಹ್ಮ್
ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ interface keyword use ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
ಹ್ಮ್
Abstract class can provide the implementation of interface.
what you
We
mean by
need to
that?
put
Abstract class can provide the implementation of interface. What do you mean by that?
Interface.
Can
Interface
you allow?
implementation, ma'am.
ಅಬ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಟರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಇರುತ್ತಾ ಹೆಂಗೆ? ಓಕೆ, ಮೇಘಶ್ರೀ.
Abstract class
ಹಾಂ ಹೇಳಿ.
doesn't support multiple inheritance.
ಅಬ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇದೇನೇ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಏನು ಅಬ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾನ್ಶಿಯೇಟೆಡ್. ಇಂಟರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟೆನ್ಸಾ? Can abstract class can be extended by two classes? Okay, multiple inheritance. You can say that. An extended class can be an abstract class. That is possible. Okay. Next. Chandana. Okay, at least Chandana. Dhanushri.
Yes, ma'am.
Chandana, you tell me the difference and also what is function overriding is.
Ma'am, the abstract keyword is used to declare the abstract class.
Whatever she told, give that point. Okay, tell.
Interface keyword is
ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರು
used
ಹೇಳಿ.
to declare the
Okay, then.
abstract class. There is no we can't declare a static or non-static variables. In interface, we can declare both the static and final variables.
By default, they are final and static.
Yes, ma'am.
ಯಾಕೆ ಅಬ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ? ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಇಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಇಂಟಲ್ಲ.
Ma'am, but we can dynamically we can declare.
ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಇಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ಕು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಫೈನಲ್ಲು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್. ಆ ಇಂಟರ್ಫೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಬೈ ಡಿಫಾಲ್ಟ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್. ನೀನು ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೂ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಇನಿಷಿಯಲೈಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ 100 ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತಿಲ್ಲ. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಹಿಯರ್ and you can show like other points I have told, no, you can have this.
Yes, ma'am.
But this is not possible in interface. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
What are the other difference I have told? ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿ, ಇವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಹೇಳಿ. ಕಿಶನ್.
Abstract class can have a private and protected access specifier. In interface, we can have only public access specifier by default.
Then what else? ಯಾರು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? ಮಲ್ಲಿಕಾರ್ಜುನ.
ಎಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಹೇಳಪ್ಪ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್.
ಇಂಟರ್ಫೇಸ್ಗೆ ಇಂಟರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
ಅದು ಬಿಡು ಅದು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ, ಅದ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆದ್ ಹೇಳು. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆದ್ ಹೇಳು. ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಹೋಗಿದ್ರೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂತ.
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಕೇಳಿದೀನಿ.
ಮತ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಸತಿ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀನಿ. ಸುಜನ್. ಹೇಳು, ನೀನು ಹೇಳು. ಸುಜನ್ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗಪ್ಪ, ಹೇಳು.
ಓವರ್ ರೈಡಿಂಗ್ ಹೇಳ?
ಹೇಳು. ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಓವರ್ ರೈಡಿಂಗ್ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳು.
ಓವರ್ ರೈಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಂದ ಬೇಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸು ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಂದ
ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಅನ್ನೋದಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಅದು ಸೂಪರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಲೋವರ್ ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಐದರ್ ಬೇಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್, ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೂಪರ್ ಸಬ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಬೇಕು. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಬೇಸ್ ಡಿರೈವ್ಡ್, ಸೂಪರ್ ಸಬ್, ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್. ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಲೋಯರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ, ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲೋವರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಯೂಸ್. ಹೇಳು.
ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇಂದ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಎರಡು ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲೂ ಒಂದ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅವಾಗ ಬೇಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮೆಥಡ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಬೇಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿನ ಮೆಥಡ್ ನ ಓವರ್ ರೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸೂಪರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿನ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಓವರ್ ರೈಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ.
ತಪ್ಪು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? ವೆನ್ ಬೇಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದಿ ಸಬ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಬೇಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ and the derived class are having the same function name and derived class object is created through the derived class object. If the function is called, always the derived class function is executed. That is called function overriding. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಎ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಬಿ ಸಬ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಎ ಸೂಪರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಆದರೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಬಿ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಂದ ನೀನು ಸೇಮ್ ಆ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಕರೆದ್ರೆ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ದ ಬಾಡಿ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಬಿ ಈಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟೆಡ್. ಅದು ಸೂಪರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇಂದ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಓವರ್ ರೈಡಿಂಗ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಒನ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಲಿ. ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಲೋಯರ್ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರೋ ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬಾರ್ದು. ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನೇ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್? ಓಕೆ. Okay, so we are 7 minutes left. Okay, so anyhow, correct ಆಗಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್, ಏನೇನೋ ಹೇಳ್ಬಾರ್ದು. See, and how you will avoid the name clashes in Java, that is in inheritance, that is through super keyword. Are you getting? Okay, so ಈ ತರ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಓವರ್ ರೈಡಿಂಗ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? That is through the super keyword. See, this is what you have function overriding is. So it is class A. Okay, class A. Here I have a method. Okay, so I have a method A and method B. Okay, take any return type, void, int, or whatever it is, and in it is inherited by. Okay, let me take this class B. Okay, so I will read if I will take the same function name and return type are also same, A B, and take this is also void, this is also void, and this is also void, and this is also void. So now when there is a name clash, since they are sharing, okay, so objects of B are sharing both this component as well as this component, and there is a name clash here because this function is having different definition and this function is having different definition. Okay, here it is statement 1. Okay, something. Okay, here it is statement 2. Some definition will be there here, and here same method is having the definition statement 3. Like that, all the functions what you are sharing will be of same name and same return type. So whenever I'll create an object of this B and I will call function A, then which function is executed? Because B is having two copies of A, like the one belongs to its superclass and one belongs to itself. So whenever such a name clash is there, then always through the derived class object, this same function is executed. This is what we'll call function overriding or the method overriding. If I create an object of A and call function A, then which function is executed? One where it is a member, that function is executed. Okay, so when there is a name clash, then based on which object is invoking that function, so its body or that function will be executed. Based on which object is calling that function, that object body is executed. This is what the logic. Okay, so since derived class is sharing all its base class members as well as its own members, when there is a name clash, then always through the derived class object, derived class function is executed. So this function overrides its base class function. That is what we'll call method overriding or the function overriding. How this name clash is resolved? Using the super keyword. Are you getting? So that is what that is like if I use the super, okay, super a dot a through a, class A I have called this function, then this method will be executed. Okay, name clashes are resolved using the super keyword in an inheritance when base class and the subclasses are sharing the same function name and are sharing the functions with the same name. It is understood that the return type and every whatever the parameters you are sending will be same. Okay, so that is what we have in an inheritance. We are handling the sharing, during the sharing when the common name occurs. Okay, this is important concept. Okay, so this is what you should understand. Based on what object it is calling, that method is executed. That's what polymorphism we will say, right? In class C, we will have same A and B as the methods. Okay, and you will have an array. You will, okay, leave that. Whenever through the object of C, A is called, this function is executed. And if it is inherited by class D, and it is also having A and B, so then object of D, this A is executed. Okay, so A is a method. Okay, which is having multiple, which is having different definition in different classes. Okay, so which method, which A is to be executed is based on which object is invoking this method. That is what polymorphism is. A method is behaving differently on what type of object is calling that method. Okay, that is what the definition of polymorphism is. The method is behaving differently on with respect to different objects. Okay, so the method name, return type, and parameter list is same, but their definitions are different in different classes. So which class is which object is invoking that function, that body is, or that implementation or that definition is executed. Okay, so this is how we have achieved the runtime polymorphism, and that is through interface, inheritance, abstract class. How it will be done, that is what we are discussed through the programs. Okay, so use proper keywords and understand the concepts, and how that concepts are implemented to the programs, that you have to understand. Okay, so today just we have seen what is the importance of abstract keyword. Abstract is associated with a method as well as a class. If a method is called as abstract method, that means what? It is not having any definition. That is, body of the method is absent. And abstract class can also be used. So abstract class, in that we can define abstract methods as well as non-abstract methods. And abstract class objects cannot be created, and constructors can be used inside an abstract class. Okay, and the members of an abstract class are the variables of an abstract can have any access specifiers. Okay, and their values can be modified in the inherited classes. Okay, so this is about the abstract importance or the use of abstract, and why abstract class is used, because implementation of the methods will be different in inherited classes. Okay, it wants to hide the implementation details, but we can use the functionality. So that is what the use of this abstract classes. Okay, let me stop.